Alrighty, I think we can get this stream underway. I slept in, I ate lunch, and now I've got to get this done before work. No pressure. Anyway, welcome to 2022. We officially put 2021 to bed last week, and now we can actually take a look at some of the movies of 2022 with the first release in theaters, the 355, and then a look ahead to what exactly is scheduled for 2022 this coming year. Before we get into the big list, we got to talk about the only release for this week. So let's head on over to the theater room. And our first release, as I mentioned, is the 355. The thing about the first weekend of the year is that there is nothing. January is always the dumping ground for movie theaters and movie studios, but there is genuinely nothing going on with the first week usually. And oftentimes that first release is gonna be a garbage horror movie. A couple of the first of the year releases I've covered since I started reviewing movies was The Grudge reboot, whatever you want to call it, sequel of sorts that came out a couple years ago. The Forest, which was one of those trying to cash in on the Aokigahara forest scare, horror movie trend. It had Natalie Dormer in it. Wasn't very good or memorable. And I think one year it was an Insidious movie. Like the last Insidious movie came out the first of the year. It's not a good time usually. The best one I've covered as the first release of the year was actually last year, and that was Shadow in the Cloud, and that was mainly good by comparison to what you usually get out of January. January is such a dumping ground that something that's mildly competent and genuinely decent comes out on top. And I genuinely had fun with Shadow in the Cloud. I thought that was I did some really interesting things, even though it wasn't perfect. I didn't think it deserved to be in January, but you know what? If that's going to be the first movie to watch of the year, then I'll take it. Here, we've got the second best after that, because this movie is not as bad as what I've covered at the beginning of the year. Granted, that's a very oh god, what's the term? There's a term for it in terms of grading, but granted, the first releases of the year are usually terrible, so the fact that we've got one that's actually decent is, surprising, and it's always a nice surprise. So this was actually fairly decent, and really the best thing about it is the cast. This was actually slated for last January. This seemed to be stuck in January, and I kind of see why after watching it. But after the COVID that was when COVID was really ravaging. There was a big spike in cases. I think that was the beginning of the Delta variant as well. And so they decided to postpone the movie to this January, and it finally came out. And then right before it came out, poor Lupita Nyong'o was tested positive for COVID and had to bow out of the press tour. So, great times. Great times to be releasing and promoting movies right now. But that said, this movie's biggest draw is its cast. The only reason this is not a direct-to-video movie is the cast here. because the cast here, you've got Jessica Chastain, fantastic. Penelope Cruz, who's great. Diane Kruger, who is the highlight for me. The aforementioned Lupita Nyong'o, who is excellent. And even Bing Bing Fan, who is mainly huge in China. Here, she is actually fairly decent. Let me bring down the volume on the music a bit. Make sure it's not drowning me out. But yeah, Bing Bing Fan never really made it over here. She played Blink in X-Men Apocalypse, who was one of Apocalypse's 4 horsemen. And I think she was in a Spider-Man movie, I want to say. But they tried to bring her over here, make her into another star, another crossover star, but never really worked out. She's still huge in China as far as I know. And so she's brought in. The whole gimmick behind this is that each woman represents a secret, an intelligence agency from a different part of the globe. So you've got America with Jessica Chastain, UK with Lupita Nyong'o, Germany with Diane Kruger, Colombia with Penelope Cruz, and China with Bing Bing Fan. And so the whole idea is that there's this thing going around, these intelligence agencies are compromised, and it's up to these 5 women, ultimately, to stop the big, bad MacGuffin tech magic thing. Like I said, the writing is... the best thing about this is the cast. One of the best things is not the writing. The writing is not very good. This is written by... what's her name? It's co-written by 2 people. One came up with the story and co-wrote the screenplay, and then the other one was the director co-writing. Teresa Rebeck is the one who came up with the story. She has been a producer on things going all the way back to NYPD Blue and something called Trouble, which I've never heard of. As a writer, she's done all sorts of things. A lot of TV. She wrote a bunch of episodes of Smash, Law & Order Criminal Minds, Law & Order Criminal Intent, NYPD Blue. So she's been, writing a lot of TV, a couple of women. She worked on the story for Catwoman. Oof. At least she wasn't part of the screenplay. So that could literally mean anything for her. But she has been writing... mainly TV since the 90s. So she's been in the business for a long time. And the other screenwriter is the director, Simon Kinberg, who is best known for his debut feature film as a director, X-Men Apocalypse. Yep. This guy's mainly a producer. And as a writer... Oh, he has written more. No, not Apocalypse. X-Men Dark Phoenix. So, but he has written other stuff. He's written for the Twilight Zone reboot with Jordan Peele hosting. He's written for the TV show Invasion, which I'm not familiar with. He's written on Star Wars Rebels. He's actually written on the act of the previous X-Men movies, starting with The Last Stand, and then Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix. He wrote on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. He wrote Triple X State of the Union. Like I said, these writers seem to be best at TV writing, not so much screenwriting, it looks like. Although their producing credits are much more in depth. Like, apparently Kinberg was a producer on Deadpool, Chappie, Logan, Star Wars Rebels, Deadpool 2, Designated Survivor, The New Mutants, and I'm not sure how he got his start, but he seems to be on the writing side and the producing side more than the directing, and his directorial debut was Dark Phoenix, and that was a train wreck. So this is actually a step up for him, because it isn't a total train wreck. That said, the writing and direction are very direct-to-video grade. Or, if you want to be fair, TV grade. This would be fine for a TV show. It doesn't scream feature film quality. For one thing, there is a lot of shaky cam. The shaky cam that has been introduced in Bourne Identity has been a blight on action movies ever since. And the problem is, shaky cam is used to hide the fact that you have either bad fight choreography, no fight choreography, or you just don't know how to shoot action. And it shows up all the time, and it just makes me sick. Not like physically, like it's unsettling to watch. I can't pay attention to anything. It is a blight on action films, and I can't stand it when it comes up. Not to mention the fact that they're also quick cuts, what I like to refer to as hibachi style cutting. Not as bad as something like the final chapter for Resident Evil, but it's definitely hiding the fact that these fight scenes weren't exactly well choreographed or well shot. But it's just some of the best I think it's held by the fact that you've got some of the best actresses in the business running this thing. And so there's a lot of good acting going on, even though the writing is pretty subpar. The premise here is that there's a magical tech MacGuffin that's able to basically act as a shut-off for any kind of technology, essentially act as its own little electromagnetic pulse and shut down all technology in a certain area. It's a tech MacGuffin, like magic button kill switch sort of thing. And there's this billionaire weapons dealer who's after it in Colombia, and the deal goes south, and the Colombian intelligence agency one of their agents claims it and is trying to get rid of it and trying to get some money for it so he can get protection for his family. They don't really go into that, sadly, though. And so at first it's Jessica Chastain and Lupita Nyong'o's characters teaming up, going outside of their agencies, and with Lupita Nyong'o being technically retired, her coming back into the field, trying to go after the German agent Diane Kruger, who are both after this magic kill switch. And meanwhile, Penelope Cruz shows up not as an agent, but as a therapist, essentially. She's a therapist there to try and help the Colombian agent who is there kind of relax, calm down, come back home. Obviously you're upset, so let's get you back home. It's nice and safe and sound. And then that goes south because the weapons dealer has has infiltrated all of these different agencies. I should also specify that while this is going on, Sebastian Stan plays Jessica Chastain's partner, both in the CIA and would-be romantic interest. And I won't give away what happens with him because it's supposed to be a twist, but at the same time, you could see it coming from a mile away. But so I'll just leave it at that. And then so Jessica Chastain is making it her mission to get this thing and get rid of it. And eventually she runs into Diane Kruger and Penelope Cruz. The four of them take up most of the screen time. It's the four of them formalizing a team of agents to break this thing in and get rid of it. First, they try to get it to the CIA, and then that goes south, and it finally ends up at an auction, a dark auction in China, where there's dark money being bid on it. While the guys is there bidding on various Chinese artifacts and art, and so that's where Bing Bing Fan comes in, and she joins them as part of this would-be team of secret agents trying to go after this thing, and ends up in a big old shootout at a hotel, and it's fairly good. Not great though. Like I said, there's a lot of quick cutting and shaky cam that kind of messes it up. But yeah, and then the whole thing ends on a teaser for like, hey, maybe we'll come back for more. You know, like these sort of things always do. They did the same thing in that stupid Without Remorse Tom Clancy movie that Michael B. Jordan was in. Although in that regard, he did have an entire book series to go off of. But yeah, the last thing you really want to do is tease the fact that like, hey, maybe we can come back for more, because that's like a death note. That's like a death nail on your movie. That's like the first time you're like, tink, 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 tink. All right, first death nail's in the coffin. This movie's not gonna do what. This movie's already kind of doomed. The other thing I found kind of weird and off-putting is just how much Orientalism was written into Bing Bing Fon's character. What I mean by that is she mentions herbs multiple times, and it seems like she's ultimately playing a bit of a Chinese stereotype. And that's not her fault, obviously. I mean, she's just the actress. But in terms of the writing, like the fact that you have a black British woman, a Hispanic woman, and 2 white women, and then the one Asian woman is the one you end up stereotyping. Because that's the thing. There's no stereotyping Penelope Cruz. There's no stereotyping Lupita Nyong'o. They are all their own characters. Meanwhile, Bing Bing Fon comes in and it's like, I have prepared you some tea with some Chinese herbs. And it is literally, I kept waiting for someone to drop the reference of Ancient Chinese Secret, because it is that thickly laid onto us that yes, she is in fact Chinese. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get the fact that she is Chinese yet? Because apparently the screenwriters didn't think you would. That's my biggest flaw with the movie, ultimately, is that the writers leaned too heavily. They couldn't make her own character enough like the other 4, so they just leaned on the fact that she's Chinese. So, herbs and tea. Okay, sure. But yeah, but she does get some good action scenes in there for his little time. Sadly, as much as she's featured in the marketing, Bing Bing Fon is literally only in the last act of the movie. She is barely in the thing. So I think that there's no wonder she can't cross over to America. We keep giving her shit roles to play. Oh god. Hey, you want to play this non-speaking role in an X-Men movie? Hey, how about you play this agent who only comes in the last act and talks all about Chinese herbs and tea. Oh god. Meanwhile, in the opposite end of the spectrum, Diane Kruger is shining like the goddamn sun, because she is able to play around with wigs and play undercover roles and characters, and she has a dark past, and it's about her dealing with issues. So she's like the bad one of the group, like the one who like drinks all the time, and it's kind of like the Logan, if you will, character type. And she's great. Diane Kruger needs to be in more things, because Diane Kruger is absolutely amazing. I love this woman. And even Penelope Cruz is actually interesting, because since she's playing the therapist, this is her first time being in the field with secret agents and being around gunfire. So she is freaking the hell out and just wants to go home. And eventually she begins to accept the role as an agent herself in this sort of would-be new female-only organization named after an actual... Like, that's probably the most interesting thing about this movie, is that it takes inspiration in the name from an actual bit of espionage history, in which George Washington had a female spy during the Revolutionary War whose name was never revealed and only went by Agent 355. And so I think they're trying to set up that maybe there's going to be like a Charlie's Angels style 355 agency to help combat terrorism and world domination and things like that. I don't know what the plan is for this. It was, if nothing else, it was not the worst way to start out a new year. It was fairly it was competent. It was not terrible, aside from the weird Orientalism with Bing Bing Fon's character. And the cast is still fantastic, you know. Even Sebastian Stan, in his limited role, in his limited capacity, does all right against Jessica Chastain. I think he's still trying to get out of the shadow of Bucky, which I don't blame him. So yeah, that's how we start off the new year, with a fairly middle of the road, direct-to-video great action movie with an all-star cast. You could do worse. We could have a shitty horror movie to start out the year. And speaking of the year, I think it's time we actually look at the year. So let's do that. Alright. We want this URL. Okay. Let's take a look at this year. Oh wait, no, I think I did this wrong. The browser, it shouldn't be it shouldn't be browser source. It should be window capture. Hold on, technical difficulties. Window capture. And then we want... There we go. Holy cow, look at that. That's big. Okay. Bring this down. And then we can make it a little bigger. And then we put it behind us. Okay, that should cover it. And then I'll set it up on the other side. Okay. So, we started off with the 355, and we're taking a look at January. So for January, it looks like we've got the fourth Hotel Transylvania movies coming out next week, and not directed by Genndy Tartakovsky, but still co-written by him. That one seemed fine. I've never been a big fan of the series. We've also got the new Scream movie coming out. So this week, I'm actually probably going to be binging the old Scream movies to catch up and do like a whole little retrospective review for the lot of them. So yeah, not exactly the best start to a year. The King's Daughter will probably not be released near me. That seems like an indie thing, or maybe a carryover from last year. Action adventure fantasy directed by Sean McNamara, who is best known for Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain starring Hulk Hogan, as well as Soul Surfer and The Miracle Season. Doesn't exactly inspire confidence, and stars Pierce Brosnan and Kaya Scodelario. So we'll see if oh hey, Bing Bing Fon's in that one too. So we'll see if that comes out anywhere near me. Something called Redeeming Love from Universal. Oh boy, that looks like just a generic love movie. Upcoming Western romantic, directed by DJ Caruso, who has directed episodes of The Shield, Over There, Smallville, and Dark Angel. Starring Abigail Cohen and Tom Lewis. Famke Johnson, so that's what she's been up to. The film is a powerful story of relentless love and perseverance as a young couple's relationship clashes with the harsh realities of the California gold rush in 1850. It's a life-changing story of the power of unconditional and all-consuming love. Based on a book. Yeah, so it's a Harlequin romance movie. Cool. Disney Plus has a new Ice Age movie, because thank God they kept that series going. And then something called Home Team on Netflix, starring Kevin James, and it's Happy Madison. Also starring Taylor Lautner and Rob Schneider. Great. Fantastic. January looks fantastic, y'all. Oh, boy. Meanwhile, moving on to February. Moonfall, the latest from Roland Emmerich. And it looks like absolute dog shit, and I can't wait. Teamed up against Jackass Forever, which has been seeing delay after delay, which, you know what? I'll give them that. At least they knew that people were going to come see this, and they didn't want to push it out during a pandemic in which they might lose some of those people. Although the people going to see Jackass probably don't care about COVID, but at least they tried to delay it. Death on the Nile, Kenneth Branagh's follow-up to Murder on the Orient Express. So, more Agatha Christie. Not as familiar with this story as I am Murder on the Orient Express, though. Marry Me is coming from Universal and is going straight to Peacock. I saw the trailer for this, and it is starring Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson. And the whole idea is that Jennifer Lopez is a pop star who planned this whole what do you call it? Like gimmick wedding. This whole wedding that her other pop star boyfriend was gonna propose to her, and they were gonna get married at, and he gets caught cheating with her assistant, and so she just decides to marry Owen Wilson because he's in the crowd holding a sign that says "Marry Me." And then it turns into, an odd couple style romance between a pop star and a middle school science teacher or something. Sarah Silverman's the best friend in it. We'll see. We'll see how good that is. Blacklight from Mark Williams, who I have never heard of. Malice in Wonderland? Nope. Honest Thief? Oh, good. This year's The Marksman and Cop Shop. Great. Oh, and The Accountant. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good things to have. Blacklight. Oh, good. Yeah, this is the one with Liam Neeson realizing, hey, the FBI may actually be the bad guys. Hey, do you think the FBI might actually be the baddies? Oh, that trailer looks terrible. I Want You Back from Amazon Studios, starring Charlie Day. American romantic comedy. Also starring Jenny Slate, Gina Rodriguez, Scott Eastwood, Manny Jacinto, and Mason Gooding. Peter and Emma are two 30-somethings who have each been left by their respective partners, unwilling to admit that their relationships are over and fearing that they will be forever alone. The two decide to team up to win their exes back by destroying their new Okay. The people behind it don't have any Wikipedia pages, so who knows how good this will be. But that's coming straight to Amazon. And from Lionsgate, The Devil's Light, supernatural horror film starring Jacqueline Byers and Virginia Madsen. Sister Anne, oh good, we got Catholics in here. A restless 25-year-old who devoutly believes that performing exorcism is her calling, but she is at odds with the institution's traditions. Sisters are not allowed to perform exorcisms, only priests. With the support of a mentor, a professor who senses her special gift. I think I've seen the trailer for this. Oh god, so this is finally coming out. During their harrowing encounter, Sister Anne comes face to face with a demonic force that infests... So it's going to be one of those horror movies. Oh, Uncharted's coming out in February. Joy. Yeah, Uncharted's coming out. That's right. Oh. This one doesn't look bad, though. Dog. This one is Channing Tatum having to take a dog who was trained in the military across the country to its former trainer's family members, I think. Let me get the actual... U.S. Army Ranger Briggs is tasked with bringing Lulu, a Belgian Malinois military working dog, down the Pacific coast from Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington to Nogales, Arizona, in time to attend her handler's funeral. Okay, so yeah, basically it's a road trip movie with Channing Tatum and a dog. Also featuring Kevin Nash, Ethan Suplee, Bill Burr shows up. So we've got a whole bunch of people in there. And it's from Reed Carroll. I'm sorry, Channing Tatum gets co-directing credit? Well then, good for him, getting behind the camera. Expand his horizons. Good for him. Oh no. Oh no. Y'all. Texas Chainsaw on Netflix. Oh no. This is gonna suck. Apple TV Plus. Luck. A computer animated movie from Paramount and Skydance. Luck is when an unlucky girl stumbles upon the never-before-seen world of good and bad luck. She teams up with magical creatures to uncover a force more powerful than even luck itself. Starring Jane Fonda as the dragon and exuberant CEO of Good Luck, and Whoopi Goldberg as the captain. The fact that I haven't seen or heard anything about this is very, is a very good omen. I can tell. And then A Fairy Tale After All from Vertical Entertainment, and doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. It just jumps straight to the studios. Good, great. Last one for February, The Outfit, starring Mark Rylance and Zoe Deutsch. This one is Leonard is an English tailor who used to craft suits on London's world-famous Savile Row. After a personal tragedy, he finds himself in Chicago, operating a small tailor shop in a rough part of town where he makes beautiful clothes for the only people around who can afford them, a family of vicious gangsters. Interesting. This is from Graham Moore in his directorial debut, Graham Moore being a novelist, it seems like, and he also wrote the screenplay for The Imitation Game. Okay. So we'll see how he does as a director. He's co-writing it with Jonathan McClane. No idea who that is. But we got Mark Rylance in it, and I like Zoe Deutsch, so I'll check it out if it comes near me. Over to March. The Batman. It's time for The Batman to come out. March 4th. We start off March with The Batman. Can't wait. After that, they moved Turning Red to Disney Plus, which sucks that the Pixar movies keep getting pushed to Disney Plus, but at the same time, I'd rather watch it at home than go out to theaters if we're still got spikes in COVID. So, yeah. Also, I didn't realize James Hong was in this, and I'm psyched. And this is also the directorial feature debut of one of my favorite Pixar creators, Domei Shi, who made the short Bow that appeared in front of, I want to say, Inside Out? Anyway, the short Bow, the one that's where it's like the allegory for for the mom and the son, this is her directorial debut, and I can't wait. Oh boy, a new Downton Abbey movie. You're gonna jump ahead in time. Hooray, the legacy continues. I didn't realize anybody still cared. Operation Fortune Ruse de Guerre. That's an interesting one. This is the latest from Guy Ritchie. You got Hugh Grant, Jason Statham, Aubrey Plaza, Josh Hartnett, Cary Elwes, Max Beasley, super spy Orson Fortune, Jason Statham, and his team of top operatives recruits Hollywood's biggest movie star, Danny Francesco, Josh Hartnett, to help them on an undercover mission to stop billionaire arms broker Greg Simmons, Hugh Grant, from selling deadly new weapons technology that threatens to disrupt the world order. So it seems like it's so it seems more on the comedy side of things. And you know what? Guy Ritchie's not bad at comedy. A lot of my favorite parts of the Sherlock Holmes movies were the comedy. So we'll see. Plus, great cast: Aubrey Plaza, Josh Hartnett, Cary Elwes, Hugh Grant. So Hugh Grant seems to be hanging out with Guy Ritchie a bunch lately. So you know what? This could be good. No Wikipedia page for it. The Unbreakable Boy from Lionsgate, starring Zachary Levi, Megan Fahey, and Patricia Heaton. Directed by John Gunn, who I've never heard of. Good that it doesn't even have a wiki page yet. Great. The Lost City, which I have seen the trailer for. This looks fun. This is Channing Tatum as the cover model for the romance novels that Sandra Bullock writes. This is from Aaron and Adam Ney, who I'm not familiar with. They did something called The Last Romantic, which premiered at South by Southwest. Apparently, they're going to be working on the Masters of the Universe live-action movie, so I guess good for them. And Band of Robbers seems to be their big comedy movie. Action crime comedy based on Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. That seems interesting. Turning Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn into like a crime movie in modern day. That seems interesting. Anyway, as for The Lost City, you've got Daniel Radcliffe as the villain, which I love it. I love Daniel Radcliffe when he's a bad guy. He's great. And then Brad Pitt shows up as the actual hero that Channing Tatum plays on the covers of these novels. And the whole gimmick is that Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum have no idea what the hell they're doing in this actual, like, Uncharted, Tomb Raider adventure story, Romancing the Stone style adventure story. Everything Everywhere All at Once from A24. Oh, this is the one with all of the Michelle Yeohs. Yes, I can't wait for this. Yes, I'm here for it. So March looks good. March is the best looking of the year so far. You got The Batman, you've got Turning Red, the Guy Ritchie movie looks good, that Lost City looks good, the Michelle Yeoh movie, good stuff all around. Over to April, Morbius is coming out. I can't believe they're pushing it to April. Morbius being the vampire movie with cult leader and all-around piece of garbage, Jared Leto. The Contractor is coming out that same day, directed by Tariq Saleh, starring Chris Pine and Ben Foster, and Kiefer Sutherland. James Harper, who is involuntarily discharged from Special Forces, joined a private contracting organization alongside his best friend and under the command of his fellow veteran Sutherland in order to support his family. Overseas on a covert mission, Harper must evade those trying to kill him while making his... Okay, so it's basically a war movie from the point of view of one of the contractors, like the Blackwater guys. Not sure why we need a movie about Blackwater guys, but whatever. Easter Sunday from Jay Chandrasekhar, like from Broken Lizard's Jay Chandrasekhar. He's got a new movie out. Easter Sunday. Nothing given. But we got Joe Coy as himself, he's a fairly funny comedian. I like him. Tia Carrere shows up. She's great. A bunch of the Tiffany Haddish, Lou Diamond Phillips as himself, Eugene Cordero as himself. The Jay Chandrasekhar shows up. Joe Coy in a fictionalized version of himself attending a family gathering to celebrate Easter Sunday. Okay, I'm into this. I like this. I dig this. Written by Ken Cheng. Not familiar with him. Known for the comedy character Mark Liu on YouTube. And he also was the final of the BBC New Comedy Awards. You know what? Good. New talent. Bring in the new talent. Oh, hey. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Coming out in April. Can't wait. Oh, yeah. And then Sonic 2 is going to bury Michael Bay's new movie. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Michael Bay's movie getting buried by freaking Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, you love to see it. Also, Fantastic Beasts by the Turf. I don't need to see any more of Surf and Turf's movies. The last two haven't been good, and quite frankly, I'm probably either going to skip this or watch it on home video when it comes out on streaming or whatever, because I don't care. I'm probably not going to, unless there's like a lot of buzz around how bad it is, and like worst of the year grade sort of film, then maybe I'll check it out. But I'm not interested in supporting the Turf anymore. 13 Lives by Ron Howard, upcoming biographical survival drama about the events of the Tom Luong cave rescue. With Viggo Mortensen, Colin Farrell, and Joel Edgerton as the stars. Because, of course, when you're making a movie about the survival of the junior football team from Thailand, you make it about the white dudes. Now, nothing against, because nothing against these guys. Whoop, gotta plug in. Gotta plug in so I don't lose the computer. Nah, yeah, nothing against the actual people, Richard Stanton and all of them. It's just that it always feels like that's Hollywood's MO, is that when we make a story set about a tragedy, like, thankfully, they didn't pull that with the 33, and that's why I liked the 33, because thankfully there weren't any white people to throw in and make it about instead of the actual people from that country. But, yeah, it feels... God, that always throws me the wrong way when it's like, hey, we're going to talk about this thing in a whole other country with no white people in it. Let's focus on the white people. Because Americans, God forbid, they look for somebody other than them. God forbid white people watch a movie starring someone other than themselves in it. Anyway, that's just Hollywood nonsense. The bad guys. Oh, the new Dreamworks animated movie. Yeah, I've seen this book series at work. I work at a library, and this is a kids' book series. Apparently, Ethan Cohen. Okay, no, Aidan Cohen has no relationship with the Coen brothers. He's written for like Tropic Thunder and the Madagascar movies and stuff. So yeah, he's co-writing this. Sam Rockwell, Mark Maron, Craig Robinson, Anthony Ramos, Richard Ayoade, Zazie Beetz, Lily Singh, Alex Borstein. Great cast lineup, love it. The Northman. Upcoming American epic historical movie. Haven't heard of this. Oh, is this the Viking thing? The Northman is an epic revenge thriller that explores how far a Viking prince will go to seek justice for his murdered father. With Björk, Willem Dafoe, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicole Kidman, and then starring Alexander Skarsgård with Ethan Hawke as the king. Well then, I'm hyped. This seems like fun. Robert Eggers, best known for The Wit, The Vivitch, and The Lighthouse. Ooh, I still need to see The Lighthouse. Yeah, that looks like fun. That's already saying all the names that I need to hear. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Great title. Oh, boy. This is starring Nicolas Cage. And Pedro Pascal. Nicolas Cage begrudgingly accepts a $1 million... Oh, he's playing a... Oh, yes. Yes. Nicolas Cage is doing a movie where he is himself taking a shitty $1 million offer for an appearance. When things take a wild turn, Nick is forced to become a version of some of his most iconic and beloved characters in order to extricate his wife and daughter from a fan who is a notorious drug lord, with Tiffany Haddish in it as well. Ike Barinholtz, Neil Patrick Harris is Cage's agent. I can't wait. I love shit like this. I love gonzo shit like this. Rounding out April, we've got Memory, which doesn't seem familiar to me, starring Liam Neeson and Guy Pearce. Directed by Mark Campbell, novel Desak Alzheimer. It is a remake of the novel's previous adaptation film, Belgian film, The Alzheimer Case. So it's about Alzheimer's. Hitman for organized crime agrees to one last killing despite his recently developed Alzheimer's. Okay, so it's like a crime thriller sort of thing. The Memory of a Killer. Desak Alzheimer. Okay, that might be interesting. Gives me a reason to go seek out that Belgian version and see how good it is. Because, I mean, that's the thing, is American remakes of foreign films tend not to go very well, sadly. But, Ending out the year, 65. Ending out April with 65 from Scott Beck and Brian Wood, starring Adam Driver and Ariana Greenblatt. This is... An astronaut crash lands on a mysterious planet only to discover he's not alone. Okay, so it's a science fiction sort of thing. Okay, that should be fun. Produced by Sam Raimi. That's neat. Scored by Danny Elfman. Nice. Scott Beck and Brian Woods, best known for They've executive produced A Quiet Place. And they also directed Impulse, Nightlight, Haunt, and 50 States of Fright. The episode Almost There. Oh god, they actually got suckered into making a Quibi. But they co-wrote the first A Quiet Place movie together. So, you know what? That's a pretty decent filmography. So, I'll look forward to that. Now we're heading into the summer season. Starting in May, we've got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness finally coming out. Switched over from Scott Derrickson to Sam Raimi. I'm very curious to see how Sam Raimi handles a new superhero movie, especially with the wild stuff they've set up for it. Sneakerella on Disney, coming to Disney Plus. It is a weird take on Cinderella, where it's about a guy who makes sneakers. The trailer made no goddamn sense, so look forward to that. We also got DC League of Super Pets, an animated movie based around Crypto the Super Dog and Ace the Bat Hound. I'm guessing this is before he officially becomes the Bat Hound, as well as various other super pets in the DC universe, starring Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart, because of course. Top Gun Maverick is supposed to finally be coming out, but going up against it is Bob's Burgers, the movie. And oh boy, I feel bad. I hope it manages to at least not get completely buried by Top Gun, but we'll see. I mean, maybe people won't even be interested in Top Gun at this point. I mean, it's already been, like, what? It's 2022 now. The original movie came out in 1986. So that means it's been 36 years between movies. I don't know if anybody's going to really care to see a sequel at this point. Coming in June, Jurassic World Dominion is coming out. Trepidatiously looking forward to that, because if nothing else, I get dinosaurs, and at least it can't, and hopefully it can't be worse than Fallen Kingdom. We've also got Lightyear from Disney Pixar. That one's coming to theaters, and that looks interesting. We also got Taika Waititi in the cast with Chris Evans, so that looks fun. Elvis from Baz Luhrmann, interesting. The biographical musical about Elvis from Baz Luhrmann. Take a look at this. Chronicles the life and career of rock and roll legend Elvis Presley, with Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker, Austin Butler as Elvis Presley. I can see it. You give him a pompadour, I can see Elvis. The problem is, are they gonna have to dub him over, or can he sing Elvis? Or can he sing like Elvis? That's the key. Olivia DeJonge, Yola Quarty, Kelvin Harrison Jr., Richard Roxburgh. A lot of names I don't know. The only name I really... Cody Smith McPhee. Okay, there's somebody else I know in this movie. Nobody else I really know besides Tom Hanks, though. So, we'll see. If nothing else, Baz Luhrmann delivers on interesting movies, if nothing else. Scott Derrickson's got his new movie coming out, written by C. Robert Cargill, the team behind the Sinister movies and the first Doctor Strange. Black Phone. This supposedly they filmed during quarantine, and it, like, there's a whole thing behind it. I forget what it was. In the 1970s, 5 children go missing in a suburban Colorado town. Soon after, Finney Shaw is kidnapped by a serial killer and trapped inside of a soundproof basement. Finding a disconnected phone, Shaw discovers its ability to transmit the voices of the killer's previous victims, who try to help him escape. And it's starring Ethan Hawke as the serial killer. So this looks interesting. Oh, from Blumhouse again. That's what it was. I knew it sounded familiar. It's from Joe Hill, Stephen King's kid. I need to read more of his stuff. Joe Hill is such a... Yeah, I mean, there's an apple that didn't fall far from the tree in terms of writing talent. So that should be interesting. And then ending out June is Shotgun Wedding, an American romantic comedy starring Jennifer Lopez and Josh Duhamel. Wondered what he's been up to. Darcy and Tom get their lovable but very opinionated families for the ultimate destination wedding just as the couple get cold feet, but suddenly everyone's lives are in danger when the entire party is taken hostage. The couple must work together to save their loved ones if they don't end up killing each other first. Okay. Jennifer Coolidge, Lenny Kravitz, Cheech Marin. Okay then. From Jason Moore. Not familiar with him at all, so we'll see. We'll see about that one. That's from Lionsgate. And heading into July. Oh god, the Minions movie is still coming out. They're still gonna push that on us. Great. Something from Columbia Pictures with no wiki page. Jack Black starring Oh Hell No. We got a movie called Oh Hell No starring Jack Black with like 4 screenwriters, so who knows. Thor Love and Thunder is coming out in July 8th. I can't wait for that. I'm hyped for that. I'm curious to see who the villain is in that, because I'm not sure, because you got the Guardians coming in as well. Natalie Portman's going to take up the hammer. I'm curious to see how they bring back Mjolnir then, because as far as I know, they only have Stormbreaker in this timeline. So we'll see. Bullet Train from David Leitch, starring Brad Pitt. Is this a remake of a foreign film? Film based on the novel Maria Beetle, published in the U.S. as Bullet Train. Okay, by Kotaro Isaka. Film stars an ensemble cast including Brad Pitt, Joey King, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brian Tyree Henry, Zazie Beetz. 5 assassins find themselves on a Japanese bullet train, realizing that their individual assignments are all interconnected. Huh. Interesting. Oh, Sandra Bullock's in it. Neat. So sadly, you got a movie set in Japan, but all the stars are Westerners. Kind of sucks, but that's Hollywood for you. And then something called Bed Rest. No idea. Just Bed Rest. No wiki. No, the creator, the director, screenwriter has no wiki, and then it just stars Melissa Barrera, who is from who's a Mexican singer actress. That's all we get. Nope. The latest from Jordan Peele. Did they give us anything on the plot this time? Nope. Alrighty. So Jordan Peele's new movie's coming out in July. Ooh, I've heard of this title. I've seen this title. It's a book. Based on the novel of the same name. Starring Daisy Edgar Jones, Taylor John Smith, Harris Dickinson, David Strathairn. David Strathairn is the only name I recognize. But the novel of the same name... bestseller. Timeline describes a life and adventures of a young girl as she grows up in isolated marsh in North Carolina from 1952 to 1969. And then the second timeline follows the investigation of Chase Andrews, a local celebrity, the murder of a local celebrity, a fictional coastal town of North Carolina. Huh. Interesting. Huh. Well then. Looking forward to that then. Under the Boardwalk. It's a Nickelodeon animated movie with no listed cast and no Wikipedia page. Great. And then we end out July with Black Adam. That's going to be interesting. I'm very curious. I think this one's introducing Hawkman, maybe Hawkgirl, and I think Dr. Fate. But that looks interesting. I'm very curious to see how they take on Black Adam in the movies, because Dwayne Johnson's been pushing for this the same way Ryan Reynolds pushed for Deadpool. Going to August, The Man from Toronto, Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson. A screw-up is forced to team up with an assassin. A lot of assassin movies. And it's about at an Airbnb. So Woody Harrelson plays the man from Toronto, and there's a man from Miami. Yeah, so it's another assassin comedy. A lot of those going around this year. It's so weird. A lot of assassin movies in general coming out this year. That's a weird coincidence. New one with Owen Wilson. This is from Paramount Pictures and Bruckheimer. Charlie Kincaid, a kid who discovers a secret headquarters under his home that seems to belong to a superhero. He shares it with his friends, and they start to believe that his estranged father might have a secret double life. That's Owen Wilson with Michael Pena. And it's a superhero movie. Interesting. Henry Joost of Catfish and and 2 Paranormal Activity movies, plus Project Power. That inspires less confidence. Ariel Schulman, the other guy from Catfish, and written by Christopher Yost, who was working on Thor: The Dark World, who worked on Thor: The Dark World and Ragnarok, as well as The Mandalorian. Okay, that inspires more confidence. So we'll see. Apparently, Yost came up with the story, but we'll see. Oh God, does that mean it's going to be a found footage movie? Shit, is this going to be a found footage movie? Jesse Williams joined the cast as the villain. No word on if this is going to be a found footage movie. Oh boy. All right. We'll see about that one. No wiki page for it. Something with Billy Eichner that he also wrote from Apatow Productions. Cool. Beast. Starring Idris Elba, but no wiki page for it. Cool. Neato. Also Sharlto Copley. And then Samaritan ends up August, and that's with that's a superhero movie with Sylvester Stallone. Based on the Mythos Comics graphic novels. Huh. A young boy comes to the realization that a famed superhero who was thought to have gone missing after an epic battle 20 years ago may in fact still be around. Okay, so it's it's going to be one of those sort of subversion of superhero stories. Interesting. I never read the comics. I'm not familiar with them. Julius Avery, though. What's he known for? Oh, God, there's a new Van Helsing movie he's doing. Oh, shit. He did Overlord! Ooh, I'm in. I'm already in. If he did Overlord, I'm in. Excuse me. Heading into September. Apparently, they're doing a new take on Salem's Lot. Man, Stephen King is just going... We're just in a new push for Stephen King content, aren't we? But we've got Louis Pullman, who I think is the son of Bill Pullman. Mackenzie Lee, Bill Camp. Alfre Woodard is the biggest name I know. Gary Dauberman, not familiar with. Annabelle and Annabelle Creation and The Nun. Oh, no. Oh, The Conjure. Oh, no. His best movie was Annabelle Creation. Oh, no. This is going to suck, isn't it? Well, Dark Harvest from David Slade. Based on the novel of the same name. Starring Anthony Ramos, Naomi Scott. Nope, that's a different one. Starring Casey Likes. Okay. What's this one about, then? Every fall in a small western town, a supernatural specter called Sawtooth Jack arises from the cornfields and approaches the town's church, where violent gangs of teenage boys hungrily await their chance to confront the legendary Nightmare, an annual harvest rite of life and death. Richie Shepard lives in the shadow of his big brother, who won last year's October prize to get his ticket out of town. To prove himself and join his brother, Richie pairs up with restless dreamer Kelly Haynes, who will do whatever it takes to escape this dead-end town. Against the rules and the odds, Richie and Kelly decide to hunt down the legendary Nightmare to win the run and their freedom together. Kind of sounds like The Lottery a bit, and like a bit of Children of the Corn. Interesting. That should be interesting. Whitebird, a Wonder Story. No idea about this. But is this related to that stupid Wonder movie from a few years back? After the events of Yep. Bullied Julian has left school. He is visited by his grandmother from Paris, who tells him stories of her childhood as a young Jewish girl living in Nazi-occupied France. She was hidden from the Nazis by a classmate and his family. Starring Gillian Anderson and Helen Mirren. Oh, goody. A sequel to a movie I didn't even care about. Jesus. Did anybody care about this movie? Did really anybody care about Wonder? I don't get it. The Woman King. Wait, I think I know who this is about. In the kingdom of Dahomey, Naniska is the general of an all-female military unit, and Nawi is an ambitious recruit. Together, the pair fought enemies who violated their honors, enslaved their people, and threatened to destroy everything they have lived for. Historical epic. Okay, no, this isn't what I was thinking of. There's a book at work about the woman who called The Woman Who Would Be King. I thought it was related to this, but I don't think so. Anyway, we got Viola Davis, Tuso Mbedu, Lashana Lynch, John Boyega. Solid cast. And then Gina Prince Bythewood. Not familiar with her work. Love and Basketball. Oh, Love and Basketball. Okay. Secret Life of Bees, The Old Guard. Okay. This is gonna be good. They may not be the best movie of the year, but it's definitely gonna be good. It's not gonna be bad, I don't think. Oh god, they did another Puss in Boots movie before they did another Shrek movie. So we got a new Puss in Boots movie coming up. Great. Olivia Wilde has a new movie coming out. Don't Worry, Darling. Let me see. An unhappy housewife in the 50s discovers a disturbing truth while her loving husband hides a dark secret. Florence Pugh, Harry Styles, Chris Pine, Olivia Wilde, Gemma Chan, Kiki Lane, Nick Kroll, Douglas Smith, Dita Von Teese. Psychological thriller. Interesting. Based on a story by Carey and Shane Van Dyke and Silberman. Well then, keep my eyes open for that. That should be interesting. Mission Impossible 7 is coming out. No idea what the story's going on there, but we got Cary Elwes in the cast this time. So he's coming in. Rob Delaney's showing up. So that's a thing. Alrighty, on to October. October, all we really got is Spider-Verse Part 1. That's going to be big. I'm guess that's going to be one to look forward to. Tar from Focus Features and Universal. Cate Blanchett and Mark Strong. No word on what exactly the plot is, though, sadly. So, Halloween Ends. So we got a whole nother Halloween movie after Halloween Kills. Kind of disappointed. Hopefully the Halloween Ends ends better than Halloween Kills. Ticket to Paradise. Starring Julia Roberts and George Clooney. And Billy Lord, Carrie Fisher's kid. University of Chicago student Ren Butler accompanies her best friend Lily on a post-graduation jaunt to Bali. After Lily abruptly decides to marry a local, her divorced parents try to stop their daughter from making the same mistake they once made 25 years ago. Meanwhile, Ren stays in Bali for the festivities and in the process finds her own love with a local doctor. From Ole Parker. Director of Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Oh boy. Well, hopefully this is written better than that was. On to November. We've got The Flash finally coming out. For some reason, that's still a thing. Hopefully we can, be done with The Flash and Ezra Miller and that whole era of the DCEU and move on to other things. Some David O. Russell project. David O. Russell being a colossal prick as far as I'm aware of. Behind the scenes, Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Anya Taylor-Joy, Rami Malek, Zoe Saldana. So star-studded cast. Oh, hey, Kenneth Branagh's doing a Bee Gees biopic. No word on the cast yet, though. That's not good. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Not sure. So we're going to see what they're going to do in the wake of the tragic death of Chadwick Boseman. And unfortunately, with Letitia Wright's whole anti-vax, crazy religious nonsense. Spellbound, no Wikipedia page, Apple TV Plus, animation. Okay, nothing to say there. She Said, from Universal Pictures and Plan B and Annapurna. Zoe Kazan, Carey Mulligan, Patricia Clarkson, Samantha Morton. Interesting. What's this one about? The film depicts the work done by journalists Jodie Cantor and Megan Twohey to break the story of Harvey Weinstein's sexual misconduct allegations. We finally got our first, like, actual, official... I mean, I guess Bombshell kind of was a Me Too movie, but I think that they're actively adapting the events of Harvey Weinstein's exposure as a sexual assaulter in a film. So that's going to be interesting. Maria Schrader, Love Life, and the miniseries Unorthodox. Huh. We'll see. That could be good. Not sure we needed a biopic about that. Just, so it's only been like 3 years, but I guess. Javier Bardem, Constance Wu, Lyle Crocodile, animated live action. It's a mix. Live action animated musical. Directed by Will Speck and Josh Gordon. What are these guys known for? Hit Monkey, Cavemen, The Switch. Oh God, those poor guys. They directorial debut with Blades of Glory. Oy. The Power Inside. Never heard of it. Office Christmas Party was fine, and their most recent thing is Hit Monkey, so we're gonna go off of that. But something distant for DreamWorks Pictures. And then this one, Lyle Crocodile. I think it's a series, children's story of the same name. I think I've seen this. Yeah, okay, I know this guy. The story follows the title reptile who lives in the East 88th Street house in East 88th Street in New York City. Lyle enjoys helping the Prim family with everyday chores and playing with the neighborhood kids, but one neighbor insists Lyle belongs in a zoo. Mr. Grumps and his cat, Loretta, do not like crocodiles, and Lyle tries to prove that he is not as bad as others might first think. So, I think they're implying Javier Bardem is going to be playing Lyle, which would be interesting. Interesting voice choice. But yeah, and so it seems like they're going to be filmed in live action, and then Lyle is going to be animated. Probably with CG. I'm guessing making him realistic looking. I don't know. It'll either be horrifying to watch or it'll be adorable. The Fabelmans from Steven Spielberg. Already? He just got finished with the West Side Story. Is he working on this? He must have been working on this at the same time. Aww. He's doing a little mini biopic. He's doing he's basing it on his childhood in Arizona. That's sweet. Michelle Williams, Seth Rogen, Paul Dano, Judd Hirsch, Chloe East. That looks like fun. I'm down for that. I'm down for Spielberg because I've heard his childhood fairly interesting. I've heard some interesting stories about his childhood growing up and how he got into movie making and whatnot. So that'll be interesting. Creed 3, directed by Michael B. Jordan this time. What's the story this time around? So this time around, Creed. Deontay Wilder announced plans to begin a career in acting. He wanted to play Clubber Lang. Oh, are we bringing in Clubber Lang? Are we bringing in Clubber Lang this time? Ooh. Bringing in Deontay Wilder as the son of Mr. T. That'll be interesting. As Jordan entered negotiations, directorial debut, original story written by Ryan Coogler. Project will be a joint venture. I think didn't Rocky die at the end of Creed 2? Because I mean, at this point, they might as well have Rocky finally pass and make it about. Because that's the other thing too, is that in Rocky 3 was when Mickey died. So that would make sense to have Rocky die in Creed 3. It would be fitting. But I thought Rocky died in Creed 2. Or maybe it was just a health scare. But yeah, Stallone is not reprising Rocky for the movie, which allows Michael B. Jordan to stand out in the zone without it being, hey, remember Rocky? Granted, they are bringing back Clubber Lang, but this time, it's kind of like how it allows Michael B. Jordan's character to be his own within the movie, not just tie it back into the Rocky series completely by having it be Rocky as the Mickey. And then Walt Disney Pictures Strange World. No wiki page. Don Hall, director of Winnie the Pooh, Moana, Raya, and Big Hero 6. Hey, you know what? He's a good director. Whatever it is, I'll be interested. And then ending out the year in December, we've got Violent Night, which I'm guessing is an either action or horror Christmas movie starring David Harbour. No wiki page. Avatar 2 is supposed to finally be coming out, supposedly. We'll see. Oh god, they already did Aquaman 2? Huh. I completely missed that announcement. What's the deal here? Momoa pitched a story for an Aquaman sequel during production of the first film. Wan did not want to rush the next film. He agreed to oversee development of the sequel, signed on to the screenplay. Wan was confirmed to be directing. I'll say this much. Wan is better as an action director than a horror director, because I watched that Malignant, and it felt more like an action movie than a horror movie, especially towards the end. Orm is back. King Nereus. Black Manta's back. Randall Park is back as Stephen Shin, who is, I forget which villain, but he was from the New 52. Atlan, the first king of Atlantis. Inja Moore. No word on a plot, but apparently Momoa pitched it. Which good. Hey, you know what? Momoa's having fun with this role. Let him have it. I'm down. He's having fun with it. The Mario movie from Illumination, starring Chris Pratt. Great. That's coming out in December. Hooray. Yay. I Want to Dance with Somebody, coming out just ahead of Christmas. Directed by Casey Lemons. It's the Whitney Houston biopic. Ooh boy. This could go any number of ways. Who have they got playing? Oh, we got Stanley Tucci. So we got somebody in there. Clark Peters from The Wire and Treme. Tamara Tooney as Whitney's mom. We've got Ashton Sanders from Moonlight as Bobby Brown. Let me take a look at this guy. You know what? I can see it. I think I can. Let me pull up Bobby Brown and compare them. Take a look at young Bobby Brown, like 80s Bobby Brown. Yeah, here we go. This is that era Bobby Brown I'm thinking of. Let's take a look. I can kind of see it. I see it a bit. So that's not a bad choice for Bobby Brown. What about the girl playing Whitney? Naomi Ackie. Not familiar with her. She is from... Oh, she played, Wait, Janna. Was that the horse riding girl at the end of Star Wars? Huh. In a main role on Master of None, End of the Fucking World. She was... Ooh, in a Doctor Who episode. Face the Raven. Face the Raven! Sounds like, Oh, she was in a... Oh, she played... Wait, did she play Lady Macbeth? No, she couldn't have. Florence Pugh. Oh, Florence Pugh as that. Ooh, interesting. Naomi Ackie played someone called Anna, who must have been like a court member, consortia or something like that. Let me take a look at her. So we'll pull up Naomi Ackie and Whitney Houston. I can see it. You know, I can see it. Oh, yeah. Absolutely I see it. Okay, yeah, I see it. Yep. Oh, especially with this old Whitney pick. This old 80s Whitney photo definitely sells it. If we're going 80s Whitney, this girl definitely fits that sort of appearance. It looks, I think. Not bad casting. Looks wise, they look like the people. Problem is, can they act, and will they sing or will they dub? That's going to be the big one. And I have no idea who Casey Lemons is. She directed Harriet, which got mixed reaction. Black Nativity, never heard of. Talk to Me. Okay, I remember that. I think that was pretty good. Don Cheadle and Chiwetel Ejiofor. The Caveman's Valentine. I missed out on that. No idea how good it was. And she started with Eve's Bayou. I mean, hell, what a way to come out the gate. Eve's Bayou. So this could go either way. This could go any number of ways. And then we end the year, supposedly, on Babylon. A period drama starring Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Catherine Waterston, Flea, Samara Weaving, Lucas Haas, Olivia Wilde, Spike Jonze, Gene Smart, and Tobey Maguire. Directed by Damien Chazelle isn't the actor Damien Chazelle? No. He's the director. Damien Chazelle. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of another Damien. No, this is the guy who directed Whiplash and La La Land. He also did First Man. I've never been a big fan of his. I did not like Whiplash. I did not like La La Land. I didn't see First Man because of that. Also because I ran out of time. So yeah, Damien Chazelle's new movie. No word on what period or what the story is. Golden Age of Hollywood. Okay, so we got the period. So some Golden Age of Hollywood story. No word on what the plot is, though. So it's Damien Chazelle, so I'm sure the critics will love it. But that seems to be 2022 coming up. And the schedule's tantamount to change the whole time. It all depends on, where the COVID rates are at and what, if anything happens behind the scenes. Any number of drama can happen behind the scenes. So we'll see what happens with the year to come. But for right now, that's the year ahead of us. And next week, we're going to look forward to Hotel Transylvania's nonsense and the new Scream movie. We'll see if either of those are any good. But that'll be it for me. So I think it's time I packed it in. So we'll see y'all, folks, hopefully tomorrow for some Undertale. Have a good day.